This is the grand finals here, down to the wire. It's going to be spawning in the top right-hand corner of Daybreak. The green Protoss, Believe.
Can he show that he has what it takes against our purple Protoss, the man who beat him 2 games straight now to claw out of the losers bracket? It is none other than ROOTMaSa. Root for Root?
I think Katz is in our stream right now. He is rooting for his Root team player, ROOTMaSa, and he demands an interview after. So yeah, we'll see if we can get an interview with the players after the games.
Alright, yeah, we'll definitely try to get that done. Unfortunately, we've ran long on time here.
Oh man, we're supposed to end at 5.
Yeah, the managers are like, you know, we love everything. We're just concerned about our regulars coming in and not having computers, so we're trying to be mindful of that as well. So if everything goes well, we'll get an interview with our players, and we'll try to give you guys that content as much as we can.
Exactly. So, looking at the Protoss base over here, nothing's going on so far. We're just in the first initial couple minutes. This is when we should cast in our bilingual language.
No, we shouldn't, because what are we going to talk about? Nothing while we speak Italian and Mandarin. You can speak Mandarin and Cantonese. Have you ever tried switching in mid-sentence?
Yeah, it confuses people.
But is it hard for you?
No. It's like the same way I could speak in English and I could swap over to Chinese like right now.
Yeah, I can see, because I was thinking about that with Italian, so it's not really that hard?
Not too crazy. So it looks like Gateway and Barracks going down for both the players, both making those first unit building structures, and you know, I wonder what they're going to be doing here. Masa, we've seen him doing some proxy racks in places and not, but he's also been able to play pretty standard and also just win at that 9-minute mark with his medivacs. But also you can see him taking into a little bit of a later mid game with the nice elevator drops we saw in the last game.
Yep. But he definitely, we haven't seen him in a late game, which I know Terrans often complain, Protoss versus Terran. The late game is something you don't want to get towards because those 3-3 upgrades are just devastating against your Bioforce. So now, there are a few things that we know pretty certain, we can say with pretty high certainty that are going to happen. Masa really likes his Marauder play, and he really likes his Medivac elevator drops. Those are 2 things that I think are pretty stable in his Protoss play. We've seen them up until this point. For Believe was actually saying on the ladder, which he spends most of his time practicing, he sees very few Terran. Terran is probably the matchup that he plays the least, so really this is a matchup that he doesn't feel the most comfortable with. He loves playing against Zerg because there's like 70% Zergs out there.
I was just out there and he said I never lose to Zerg, and you know, he really didn't lose too many games to Zerg. He was
very well against Hengelis. Yeah, Hengelis is a very strong Zerg player, and to defeat him is no small task. Although Masa also defeated him, so really this is 2 of the strongest players at this event that are duking it out right now for supremacy. I know personally Terran is one of my worst matchups. Terran tends to pull me apart with their medevac drops, and that's exactly what ROOTMaSa was doing. He likes to pull the army apart. Now we do see a Twilight Council coming out for Believe, so we should see some a little bit of a deviation, a little bit of a maybe this is a pickup play trying to understand that I have an idea, or sorry, I've been playing a certain way, you beat me straight up twice, I need to make a little bit of a deviation, I need to do something a little different to deal with this.
That's exactly,
he even got it before the Nexus.
You're right, yeah, so some really early Twilight Council play here. We'll see where he's going. We can have a look at the Terran base right now, though. The second command center has completed right now. Double barracks, triple barracks actually being produced as well, and I really like this overview. Look at that, we can see the whole base.
Yeah, because of this custom map mod, you can actually see everything being built. You can see both bases at once. You can see the bunker being built while you see the production in the base going up as well. So now a couple more gates are going down for Believe, so he is going to be sticking on this gate tech. No Marauder play this game, so it's going to be a Dark Shrine. So this is something that we talked about before. The Dark Shrine could be a very good move, although Terran has on-demand detection with their scans, they don't typically want to use those scans to mess around with DTs in their base. And you were talking about how Hero played those mind games on Tasia, where he brought in 2 observers, purposely had the scans destroy them, brought in the DTs knowing that there was no more energy, and then Tasia just had to GG out of that.
Exactly, so some really tricky plays can be going down here for both players. We don't see a Robo coming out from Believe, so I don't think he's going to be using that specific strategy that Hero used against Tasia. However, this Marine is going to spot this probe, so no more proxy pylons will be laid down as the Marine will give chase and try to end this little probe's short life.
Oh, and now another Marine joining his brethren to shoot at this probe. The stutter step is good to take it down to the red, and actually enough to absolutely destroy it. So he didn't really get much of a scout. I'm not sure if he even saw the bunker at all, but just a look at the Protoss base. He's only now beginning to saturate his natural, and the Dark Shrine is almost completed. So we will see a little bit of DT play coming out very shortly.
Definitely. Now with DT Shrine going up, we do have the closest proxy pylon that we saw was actually still at around the 4th base area where the Terran would usually get his 4th
That's where
base.
the DTs popped in.
And so they're going to be walking their way into the base. Now Terran hasn't really scouted at all, hasn't really seen any sort of pressure coming out. He does see the Stalker and the Zealot moving through the middle of the map. He knows something's up, but will he notice these DTs now getting ready to sneak into his base?
Yeah, now we have noticed MASA is very diligent in watching the map. He's actually very good at looking around. He doesn't notice these DTs. They're going to be split up, not wise to attack. And we do see the missile turrets going down, so frantically now he needs to he needs to put up some detection. He's used all his energy on mules, and this is the perfect time to strike. These DTs are doing one-shots on all these SCVs and all these Marines. Nobody can touch these DTs. They're absolutely invisible. Even if you walk into them, you're not allowed to shoot into empty space.
Oh, man.
And the missile turrets are getting taken down. All these units are frantically moving around. They're just waiting for these command centers to get enough energy to actually scan.
That's right, and you can see the target firing done by Believe here. He was going to take out those turrets first, just so that there was no detection coming up, but oh, he does miss that turret in the back over there, and this one DT is going to be taken down, but the one over here attacking the refinery can't be detected by that missile turret.
No, and now he's trying to do a dance. One scan does go down, so this does represent, he's trying to get out of scan range, but he just doesn't make it. The stim was enough to get in there, but still, that last DT attacking, all he needs to do is lift off to defend that base, but more DTs incoming, so he's really exploiting the fact that vision is a problem for our Terran player right now. Yet another scan goes down, so this does represent a huge loss in what would be mule mineral time, and look at the fact that full saturation at the natural, 3rd being established for our Protoss player Believe, and the 2nd base of our Terran player ROOTMaSa isn't able to mine at all.
Yeah, having a look at the income tab over here, we can see ROOTMaSa is only at 28 workers, and while Believe is at 54, so the income difference is huge right now.
Isn't it kind of silly? Like, I was watching a game where I was watching from the Zerg perspective. I forget whose stream I was watching, but I was looking at a hatch, and then all of a sudden the hatch was at a 2/3 health, a 1/3 health, no health. I'm like, what happened to that hatch? Because the stream quality wasn't good enough where I could see the DTs, and then I'm like, yo, DTs! And I was like, those things are annoying.
They were so invisible. They were invisible to your stream.
I was like, it was so imba. Just this must be the frustration that other players feel when they see me play DTs.
Definitely, but we see that MASA has kind of recovered from the DT attack now. He does have his turrets up in his base. He is saving up his scan now. You can see that not that many mules are being dropped right now at this moment. But the charge has just completed for our Protoss player, and now he is going to be starting Blink. +1/+1 also in production. So really the DT's bought him a lot of time, but here comes a drop from MASA.
So this elevator drop is the Marines' answer to being behind. They need to make something happen. They need to do some damage on the base somewhere, and it looks like they're going to come in. There is a cannon in the back. It's not going to do anything but perhaps scare the Marines a little bit from standing in that specific area. These Marines are doing a great job munching away at these probes, but now the Stalkers are going to come in. Are they going to be able to destroy this almost full medevac? And they will! A huge pickup. Not only is he ahead at the beginning for reasons obviously placed in the hands of the DTs, but he's also ahead for destroying that massive group of Marines.
You know, that's going to be huge for, as you said, it's going to be huge for Believe here. Now, MASA's not going to be trying that drop, you know, anytime soon. He's going to be a little more cautious about splitting his army, because losing a full medivac like that was huge.
Now, some Marines are being dropped out in front of the map, maybe trying to get back Xel'Naga Watchtower status. It looks like Believe is poised outside of the 3rd base. Maybe he believes there's a 3rd base there, or maybe he just wants to skirt around the visibility of that Xel'Naga tower. I'm not sure, but really up until this point, he's done some really good things. You do see the concussive shells coming out for the Marauders now. This is something that he usually does earlier in the game, but it would be nice if he had it earlier in the game.
Definitely. Being able to slow those DTs from even, I guess, well, if we could detect them or not.
If you could, yeah.
Concussive shell's almost done. We see the +1 weapons and +1 armor done. And here comes the attack from the Protoss player. Zealot's charging in with that Guardian shield up. Is going to be so much more tankier. Nice hold position on the SCVs there. Going to be able to take out, make that little wall for the Zealots, but there's just so much damage being done there. Lots of SCVs getting taken out. And, you know, Masa is getting damaged. I believe is doing the damage that he needs right now.
Masa, right now, basically, Believe so far ahead in economy, he can trade armies a little more effectively than Masa can. But Masa did do very well to hold that. He did, I mean, he will stabilize off of this. He did lose a lot of SCVs in the process, though.
And if you can see, like, the workers kill tab, 31 workers, Believe gets killed 31 workers.
That is just sickening, isn't it? I wonder how many that was DTs and how many that was the recent
Yeah,
battle.
you know, but even with the mule drops, right? Like, now he doesn't have any scans for DTs.
Yep,
So,
and he's desperately trying to bring... So right now, actually, that is a good transition. If Believe wanted to, he could put some DTs in that base, realizing that there was all those mules that will have to replace those dead SCVs. So the upgrades are 1-1 for both our players. You guys can see that by looking in the top left and the top right of the map. This custom UI, or this custom mod, allows us to do that. There is going to be an attack on the third base of Believe. ROOTMaSa is trying to make something happen. The army of Believe is going to move down to greet this force, and these attackers are going to be able to take a pylon. Probably not going to want to overstay their welcome. They do take down a building that is in production. The blink forward is going to be able to make him have to stay and fight. These units have stimmed enough where they are low on health, and the charging zealots are going to be able to pick off a lot of these units from behind.
Man.
It looks like Masa is now running and retreating finally.
Masa didn't want to stim again. One more stim and all those units would have been picked off so easily, but he had to do something. He couldn't just play catch-up anymore, and which is what he was trying to do back in his base. He decided, you know what, if I play catch-up, I'm just going to get further and further behind. He had to make something happen at that third base, but with the defense of Believe, that wasn't going to be happening.
And here comes the Colossus, the flag bearer of the Protoss army, coming to greet his brethren on the battlefield, pushing forward with this huge contingent, this huge army that has done so well. Only a few units being pushed forward by ROOTMaSa at a time towards the Xel'Naga Tower. Wants to get vision, trying to keep Believe in his base, and that's exactly what he's doing. Believe doesn't want to get caught in a position that's unfavorable for him. He's in such a commanding lead right now. To lose now would be just utter embarrassment.
You know, and with the damage he's done to the econ, Masa doesn't have enough economy to be starting to pump out Vikings and Medivacs and Marines and Marauders, and so he can only decide to choose a couple of units produced each time. You can see, you know,
he has to be more prudent in his choice.
Exactly.
He can't just choose to build everything because he's ahead.
He can't, unlike Believe over here, it's like, oh, I'm going to get everything. He has so much money right now.
I'm going to build me some Colossus. So we have the Protoss army pushing in through the third. I guess Believe still does think that that third base is up, and now he's going to say, oh, I've done a lot better than I even thought. Even than I believed at the start of this game. Is going to come up across the side of this map, is going to greet this army. Once again, we're going to see a trade between these two armies. The Colossus now are in the battle, so this should change the type of battle we're going to see. We shouldn't see just a straight up win from this Bio army, and Believe is trying to bait these units out into a favorable choke for himself. The Zealots charging forward, slicing away at these Marines. Marines are being picked up by the Medevac. Good micro by ROOTMaSa, but the Medevac is almost dead now, and it does almost die. It does die for its trouble, and it looks like Believe's force has finally broken this Protoss Bio army.
One Colossus in the back, not being taken out by that Viking. The Blinkstocks were able to kill it before too much damage was done, and now, you know, this is it. He's just chipping away. Believe is chipping away at whatever Masa has at the front. Masa doesn't have the economy to produce the army he needs to defend this.
And he's almost got his 3-3 coming in. He's going to be happy to bring in some Archons this time to tank even more damage and to do even more splash damage. What? Stop pointing, just tell me what it says.
I just said you got coded. Build me some Colossus.
Build me some Colossus?
That's a funny story. We can talk about where that comes from.
Another time. At the beginning of the next match.
Okay.
So, yeah, now ROOTMaSa still desperately trying to build something, trying to get something going. Still stuck on 2 bases. ROOTMaSa has done his 3 armor, almost done his 3 weapons, and now... You know things are going well
when you get the shield.
3rd shields. Quote me, friends. And I guess Masa heard us. Shields, what?
Okay.